Okay, this hearing is being held as a requirement by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth and Act relative to the protection of the wetlands as most recently amended. Notice of the time and place of the hearing was published in the Fairhaven Neighborhood News on 9/18/25. It was also posted in the town clerk office. This meeting is being audio and videotaped. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public meeting.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Minutes for approval. First one we have is October 23rd, 2024. I don't know if anyone else looked at them. I looked at them pretty good today.
Yeah.
I think the October 23rd, 2024 is fine.
I concur.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the October 23rd minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, August 27th, 2025, minutes are for approval. Once again, I looked at those today. There was a few things that I needed for Joanne to correct, that I picked up the other day. Joanne corrected them all. I think right now they do look really good. So with that being said, does anyone else have any comments?
No further comment here. No.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion that we accept the August 27th, 2025 minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the September 10th, 2025, I actually looked over that one today. There was not a lot of the closings that were mentioned on it. I think it needs a lot of work. So with that, I'd like to entertain a motion to table it to a future meeting.
Motion to table it to a further meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, meeting mail, with the letter received from the law offices of James W. Marsh, review of matters presented, votes may be taken. With that being said, I didn't even look at the letter, I didn't look at the email, I am recusing myself, anything with James Marsh.
Has everyone had an opportunity to see the letter that was?
I have
Yes.
I think it's pretty much standard procedure.
Yep.
That being said, I guess I'll entertain a motion that
Let me
it's.
just have a second to just glance through it.
Oh, sorry. By all means.
Okay.
I just will entertain a motion that we place this on file regarding 185 Mattapoisett Road.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Motion.
We're moving to enforcement, 185 Mattapoisett Road, enforcement order, vote to ratify. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. Before we proceed, I would like to entertain a motion to rescind the prior motion that was on the floor regarding peer review.
Motion to rescind the prior decision prior.
The prior
Okay, yeah, yeah,
motion
yeah.
to rescind.
Okay,
Yeah. Second.
second,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Now we'll move into the enforcement order that I have issued against 185 Mattapoisett Road.
I need to recuse myself. I just remembered I already recused myself from this.
Have you guys had an opportunity to review the enforcement order as it's been written?
Yeah.
In that being said, I would like to entertain a motion to ratify the enforcement order.
Motion to ratify.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The enforcement order stands.
Isn't that close this out?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Old business, continue the public hearing, request for an amended order of condition, applicants in Copper Park Drive LLC, owner White's Farm Incorporated, off Park Drive, SE 001-0553. A request for an amendment to an existing order of conditions was filed by Copper Park Drive LLC for property located off Park Drive, map 17, lot 22P, point 13 point. The applicant proposes to install a solar photovoltaic PV array consisting of 4,999 kW and battery storage project within the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. Revisions include wetland crossing areas and wetland flagging. The applicant is presented by Wesson and Sampson Engineers. Plan name is Park Drive Solar PV Development, dated December 10, 2020. Revised September 16, 2025. With that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to open the continued public hearing.
Motion to open continued public hearing.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Good evening. I'm Zachary Strong, Senior Director of Developments in Carver Capital. With me, I have Graham Dukowski, who's VP of Construction, Sarah Hussain, who is the Associate Developer on this project. As Matt Connors of Weston and Sampson, and Jeff Roloffs, who's our counsel and supported us with this project. Previously, I believe it was in May, we came before you guys with improvements with the wetland disturbance, with the bridge proposal, and at that time, there was requested of us additional information, survey area of the bridge, understanding how that would impact and what those improvements would actually look like and quantifying it. Since then, we've done that. We've created an updated site plan. We've issued a shading memo and study. We've issued a legal memo addressing our DEP compliance with the amendment. We've also provided a bridge construction narrative, refusal memo in the event we hit rock, and a wetland impact memo. In addition to that, we also redelineated or reflagged the line with our surveyors and had the peer reviewer reviewed as well. So this moment, I'd just like to turn it over to Matt and go over the plans and additional details that were performed in field to provide additional context.
So these revised plans that were submitted to you guys, nobody's seen them yet, or nobody's reviewed them yet, or
The plans were sent to us.
the other documentation yet?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
So we've seen the first one.
Okay, so this is sheet V102, which is the area specifically of the bridge that we had discussed about having. We went out, did a detailed survey that included all the trees and the large rocks that were in the area. We did not see any outcrops, rock outcrops. So, but this sheet here basically identifies all the trees The dark line here is the wetland line. This is the upper line to the southern solar field, and this is the crossing which ends up to the central and to the northern solar field. The sheets C-104 of the plan set, what we did is we overlaid onto the survey that we have the locations of the piles, the locations of the bridge structure, abutments for both sides. During that process, you guys had originally seen 2 bridges. What happens when we get to the upland area, for us to get up, back down, and then back up again, it becomes kind of silly. So what we're proposing is a continuous bridge from one end to the other. The upland area is here in the center. And the documents that we were providing to you basically detail the trees that were being removed. Rocks do not seem to be a problem. And there were no bridge outcrops, there were no rock outcrops as we go. So we're going from the edge of the wetlands, which is right about here, to the edge of the wetlands right about here. The abutment is on the outside. The same thing on this side. We're grading up to get to a bridge height roughly between 4 and 6 feet, depending on where you are as you come down. And then on this side, we're grading back down to get back down to grade. Any questions on that?
So you say there's no rocks in that area, but I did glance at the photos. There are rocks on those photos.
There are rocks. Did you see
And
that?
what section is this in on the map? So you got a mat unit symbol.
So this is the White's Road right of way.
Okay, but where is the section? So I was just going over all the hydraulic soil groups, and I see that every single one is extremely stony,
Stony, correct.
mega stones, and so I was just wondering exactly where this one is.
So if you have the first.
That's what all I did was read that. I pulled
Okay.
that out of it.
So there's a graphic.
I don't have the graphic.
I have the graphic.
This is, I believe, what we just received from you.
Yes, that would be it.
Yeah, so we haven't had time to review this. I haven't even had time to look at that. The only thing I did see was there are some rocks. There is, you can't say there's none, there are some.
I didn't say there was nothing.
This all goes to peer review anyway,
It's
right?
not- yeah.
It's been sent to peer review, but I was just asking a question where it was.
Yeah.
We just sent this to Bill Madden yesterday. Yeah, continue.
So I didn't say there's no rock, I said there's no rock outcrop. And as we went through that, I showed you the photos to basically confirm what we were doing. The majority of the bridge is in. Hang on. So all the soil groups that are in that area, they are stony.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, can you say that?
All the rock groups in that area are stony.
Yeah.
We fully agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, and there are no soil groups in there that have bedrock. There are no soil groups in there that have bedrock in the top 60 inches.
Did you do
beyond that-
borings there? And I'm just asking.
We did not do borings. Part of what we need to do is get this approved so that we can clear some trees, so we can get equipment back there, and we can confirm that as we go. More than happy to make that a condition where, as we're clearing stuff, we'll confirm that with you as we go.
We'll go over peer review.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I without delaying anything. So the soil areas that we gave you are fully comprised, full set, all three areas, all of this. Okay. There's not quite sure where you want me to go with this. So do you have concerns about rock? Do you have concerns about
I do have concerns
constructability?
about rocks, but like I said, I glanced over roughly what you guys have sent. I know that the commission is actually looking at it now, right?
Yeah.
So we are gonna send it to Bill Madden
that's
for
fine.
peer review,
Right.
go over what he thinks, what his thing is. He was actually at the office the other day. I kinda sat down with him for a couple minutes. And that was before you ever mentioned, I know that I glanced through it today, and you mentioned about drilling for through obstructions,
Right,
or
so
if you can't get the pile depth.
Yep.
The other thing, it's very vague in here on like, are you using a wet drill, any of that, but I'll let peer review look at it. It's not me, I'm not gonna like try to give my opinion to the commission on this.
Okay, so I mean, I can touch on that right now, and Graham's here.
I think we should wait to hear back from peer review. The whole commission will get it. This way we're all on the same page. Right now, I think I'm just a little bit ahead of these guys just because I was at the office and I was able to glance at it.
Okay.
So I think we should just wait till peer review comes back. Like Eric says, we asked in the peer review.
All they're trying to do is get an amendment of the existing order, right?
Correct.
Correct.
All right,
So the original proposal, we
All
were
right, let me
filling.
finish.
Oh,
Is
I'm
it a
sorry,
less
I'm
of an
sorry.
impact?
Correct.
Correct.
And can I just touch on that?
Okay, so I make a motion to accept the amendment. You can deny me?
I deny.
Can I give
Well,
you some additional
I'd like to
context?
take a vote on that. Eric has
Made a motion.
made a motion.
That's right, there's a motion on the floor.
Yep, so
Is there a second? That's correct.
No second? The motion doesn't clear then.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, I'd just like to add some additional context on the bridge that we're proposing to install here from what was originally proposed with a gravel access road. With the bridge, right now, it looks like it'll be 17 trees removed from what our survey has shown us. And to that effect, 85 piles will be located in the wetland area. And we estimate roughly 170 square feet of permanent loss in that wetland. To that effect, though, because of the bridge installation, we're basically looking at 4,267 square feet of disturbance that is no longer going to occur in the wetland. So we're drastically improving the conditions than what was previously approved. Just want to make that clear. It's a pretty stark contrast.
So it's essentially, we were filling it, everything was gonna be permanent. We were replicating that area in a.
You're gonna do rock sandwich and replication
So
with
this
the
is gonna
original.
offset in a replication
Yeah,
area over
correct.
here.
Which you want to stay away from if we can possibly stay away from replication.
Correct, there's still a lot.
And it's still less of an impact. So in my opinion, there's no grounds to, what grounds do you hold to not give them the amendment?
I have no specs on the bridge, I have no engineering.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant from what was.
No, it isn't, Eric, we just can't tell them, here, go build whatever you want.
It's already permitted. They're trying
Is
to
the
get.
bridge permitted?
No,
No,
the
filling
plans
is.
themselves are permitted. So if we don't give them their amendment, they can do their original plan. Would we
I'm
wanna
not
make
giving
a-
an
would we-
amendment. I
would we-
wanna send
All I'm
this to
asking-
peer review.
Okay, this is all I'm asking. Would it be smarter for the board to make a less of an impact on the wetlands? Or let them just go through and mow it over and have to replicate and do all that stuff?
Okay, so just so you know, I have talked to our peer review, I've been talking with Alex, and at this point, I'm not willing to go with the amended order.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, they already have their permit.
So that means they can leave here and just go put this bridge up, is that what you're saying, Eric?
They can go and they don't need to put a bridge in, they can go with their first, the one that was the first originally approved,
They can.
they can do that.
So-
So they're trying to be considerate and do something with less of an impact.
Correct. But I'm not just gonna say, here, you have an amended order, until we know everything that's going on.
I agree.
I guess you're just.
And the applicant agrees to that, so.
And the applicant agrees to that, thank you, Alex.
So, and I just wanna, for Claire, I just wanna make sure you guys have all the answers that you want. We provided you a bunch of stuff. Is there anything else that you possibly would want?
So I am gonna put this to peer review, right?
Understood.
And Bill's gonna let us know. I did, like I said, I did glance, I see that you guys are saying you're gonna drill anywheres where there's instruction to get the pile to the proper depth.
So,
Okay, yeah.
the
The only-
bridge installation
okay.
crew comes in, and they've done this before. They bring all the equipment they need to do it. So they're gonna vibrate in wherever they can.
Yep.
If there's a problem with vibratory, then they have a different head, they swap them out, and they put in a drill.
Okay,
It's all on the
so,
same 200 series
yeah,
excavator.
the only thing I'd like to know though, is it a wet drill? Is it a dry drill? What are you doing with the spoils? So if you're in wetland and you're drilling and everything's just coming up and going all over the wetlands, so I would think that, I would like to know, I don't know if the rest of the commission would like to know, but I think it's something just a little further in detail I would like to know. You just can't say you're gonna drill, that's like saying I'm gonna drill into this table and wherever the sawdust goes, the sawdust goes. So that's why when I did a quick glance at it yesterday or today, whatever time I started looking at this, I said, well, I think it just needs a little fine tuning, right? I'm not saying that it's not gonna be accepted, I'm not saying anything,
Well,
right?
No, calm down. I just want to, if you have a question, I just want to be able to answer.
Right.
Right.
And
No,
so obviously how we drill, if we need to drill, is something that you're interested in. So we'll figure that out. We'll get information to you.
Correct.
Okay.
You know, my own personal opinion, I think there should be borings before any pile gets driven, just so you kind of know what's there.
Can't get access to the site to
We
take
can't even
I
get
don't,
there.
yeah, no, I agree.
understand
I
that.
do agree.
I do
mean, that's-
understand that. So maybe that's something we work on, we're gonna give you access to get in there, maybe give us 4 borings along the bridge or whatever, but if you hit ledge on your very first boring, guess what? You ain't gonna be able to put the bridge in anyways, right?
Well, we
Well,
definitely
we
have
don't
to come
know.
back. Right. We don't know. But, I mean, if you want to make it as an order of conditions that we do borings before and we share that with the commission, I don't think we have a problem with that.
So let's do this. Let's continue on the path we're at. Let me send, Bill Madden got this sent to him.
Okay.
We just received this yesterday, like I said, you
Okay.
sent it Monday.
Right.
Joanne was out sick, she didn't get it to us. So I think if we send it to Bill and, and Bill can give me his opinion too. I mean, we're not engineers here, we're just volunteers, we're trying to do the best we can. I know what Eric is saying is correct, right? He had an amended order himself, it was less conditions, we passed it. This is a lot more than just complicated, right? So even though you're saying it's less of an impact, you can cause more damage trying to put the
It's
bridge
still-
in than what's there. We don't
It's
know.
still an amount
Understood,
of
understood. I just, at this point, I just want to make sure you guys have everything you need. We
Right.
recognize that you're going to send it off for peer. We're assuming we'll be back in 2 weeks at the next meeting, or, I don't know, or maybe a month. You tell us.
I would think
I mean,
so,
I'm willing
right?
to go to the 8th.
Yeah.
You want to
How,
go to the,
how would it be more of an impact than straight excavating and moving? And excavating the whole thing?
We don't know what they're doing, Eric.
Yeah, but it couldn't get more dramatic than excavating the whole area.
Alex, I'm gonna ask your opinion. Do you think we're wrong by asking this to go to peer review to go over what was said to us sent to us yesterday? Or do we just say, no, let's go with the amended order? I know there's attorneys involved here, and it's like really tough for us to say, okay, what do we do on the litigation side of this? With that being said, do you think there's an issue with us saying, put this to peer review, let's get back from what Bill Madden says, get his opinion, and go from there?
No, I think that's appropriate.
Okay, with that being said,
Can I, just before you continue it,
yep, go ahead.
and we'll request a continuance.
Could
so
you
that's-
identify yourself,
I'm sorry, yeah,
please?
Jeff Roloff's counsel to the applicant.
Yeah,
What I would suggest, though, just to be most productive between now and the next meeting, Bill Madden's gonna review this. He's probably gonna have questions. If those questions can get communicated to us before the next meeting, we can then be prepared to answer them, either before the meeting, which would be best, so you can see our answers,
Yeah.
or at the meeting. Our goal is to get to a vote at the next meeting after you've had a chance for peer review. Some of these issues that might come up, some of the questions you're asking, are also probably things that you can deal with through appropriate conditions. So,
Yeah, and I agree.
we want to keep
I
Alex
agree.
in the loop
Yep.
here. It might be, hey, once you get your equipment out there and you get to a certain point in construction, send us notice so we know to come out, we can take a look, that kind of stuff. And we're totally fine with those kind of conditions. So, but I'd like to have that communication with Bill between now and the next meeting, just to keep this process moving.
So this is what I'll do. I know that Joanne sent this to Bill Madden. I'm gonna call Bill tomorrow. I'm gonna say, hey, all the questions, everything else, send it to our office, send it directly to you.
Right.
This way here, it's right there. You get it at the same time we get it.
Right.
And then if you guys wanna, any questions, you can get a hold of us, get a hold of me, whatever, and we'll go with that. Let's work this as a group. I just wanna make sure everything is going according to what I think and what even, it's by the WPA. That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Right?
We're fine with that.
Yeah.
Yes, we agree.
lessen the impact,
Yep.
all the way around.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's
Mr.
all,
Chairman, if I may, I'd like to see Bill notify these guys of when he's available to go out there and maybe have somebody out there on site to walk out there with him. Maybe answer some questions in the field to try to expedite this process,
So,
I think would be helpful.
That already happened, Mr. Chairman. Brad Holmes
did.
went out to the site pretty
Can
recently.
you just step over just a little bit?
Sorry.
That's okay.
So Brad Holmes went out to the site, I think, a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Okay.
And-
September
the
20th.
third, okay.
Yeah,
And he agreed with all the updated delineations and saw that they're consistent with the new plan. So I know
Correct.
in
What
terms
they-
of
Okay.
the delineations, Brad's good with that.
yep, what they did is they took out all the flags.
Correct.
They reflagged it.
Correct.
Brad went out there, I did talk with Brad. Brad says that everything that out there now is good, and it's really nice to be able to see that. So you go out there, you only see one set of lines. The only thing, maybe before the next meeting, can you guys flag where the bridge is going? And I'm not, or stake, I'm not saying 100 of them, but if you gave us like 2, 4, 6, or even 8 flags, I'm willing to do a site visit. I don't know if everyone is, but I'd like to take a site visit, go exactly where the bridge is going.
Or at least the beginning, the middle, and the end of that bridge, I would like to see as some
And
type
we'll
of a
do a quick
sight
site
line.
visit before the 8th. Is that fine?
Is that surveyed already or no? There's no stakes out there?
The bridge isn't surveyed.
They don't
I
have
can-
the bubble.
I can have somebody go out with a GPS.
Yeah, we'll do that.
and look at it.
All right, so we have the width of the bridge, we have the length of the bridge,
Right.
we have all that.
Correct,
We have all the spans, we know what the spans are.
correct.
Okay, so if we could do that and get a quick glance at it, and if you guys want to meet us there, I would love to have that.
Okay.
And so that's the 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, so what would that be, October 4th? Let me just look.
Is that a Friday?
Let me do this Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah.
Let me just look here, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be October 4th.
And I'm volunteering at a fair, I just want to make sure it's not the day.
And if we could do a site visit, just check it out. And now it's, you know, and I know that you got plans, you're showing things, but sometimes it's better to visual see exactly where everything is going. And like Doug was saying, if you give us the 2 ends, we know where it starts, we know where it ends. And you know that the middle is the uplands, correct? Is that what you were saying?
The middle is uplands, yep.
Yep.
Right.
So if you just give a couple stakes in the middle,
Yeah.
and then we have it, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then when we sit back down here, we know exactly where that is, I think it just gives us a little more information.
I
Sounds good.
agree.
Okay,
All right?
no, not a problem.
So with that being said, I would like to entertain a motion to continue this to the October 8th meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
So next, we have a continued public hearing, NOI Clemsway Solar LLC, CO Rewild Renewables LLC, 1094 Main Street, map 7, lot 15, SE 0010607. A notice of intent was filed by Zachary Fox for property located at 1094 Main Street, map 7, lot 15. The applicant proposes to construct a ground-mounted solar arrays in open fields and forest land. The work proposed is within bordering vegetated wetland, land under water bodies and waterways and bordering land subject to flooding, as well as the 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland and bank. The applicant is represented by Sarah Stearns, Appeals and Thomas Incorporated. Plan name is Clemsway Solar Project, 1094 Main Street, Acushnet, Massachusetts. Dated June 11, 2025, revised September 11, 2025. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. Applicant has requested a continuance to the October 8, 2025 meeting. With that, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue the public hearing.
Motion to
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. With that being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to continue to the October 8th meeting.
Motion to continue to October 8th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. New business. Public hearing RDA, Joseph and Megan Barrett, map 21, lot 20G, Evergreen Drive. A request for determination was filed by Joseph V. and Megan C. Barrett for property located at Evergreen Drive, map 21, lot 20G. The applicant proposes to develop a residential property which including a portion of the site to be performed within the 100-foot buffer zone of bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by David M. Davinian of Schneider Davinian Loan Incorporated. Plan name is Sewer Disposal System. Site plan dated August 12, 2025. Review of matters presented. Votes may be taken. I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Commission members. For the record, I'm Dave DeVickman from Schneider, DeVickman and Leone. I'm here representing Joseph and Megan Barrett. They own property at the end of Evergreen Drive. I believe it's the last vacant lot in this subdivision that was built probably 20 years ago. They're looking to build a single-family home on the property. The site's rather large. It is, I think it's greater than 8 acres, 9.1 acres. The house will be tucked fairly close to the road when given, the size of the property, primarily because there is a wetland system way to the west of the site. I'm highlighted in green, the wetland system, and the house, all of it will be outside of the buffer zone with the exception of this one little corner of the house. The backyard will be outside of the buffer zone, the driveway is outside of the buffer zone. They have to bring in water and electric from Evergreen Drive. All of that work will be outside of the buffer zone. We filed an RDA simply because we're doing some minor work for grading and clearing relative to the septic system only. And the only reason we're in the buffer zone is this finger-like projection that sticks out, which is, when you go out there and look at it, it's clearly an excavated trench extension where they must have mined gravel out of the site. This green line is something what I put on this presentation plan. If this figure-like projection wasn't excavated, that would be your buffer zone, and literally we'd be outside of everything.
Excuse me a second, David. Could you move it to the other side of the podium? I'm not sure if the audience is trying to look at it or trying to figure out if you can just spin it a little bit. There we go.
Okay, so I connected the dots here and said if that finger-like projection didn't exist, this actually would be your buffer zone. So we're really working within a buffer zone of this finger-like projection. The leaching area would be greater than 75 feet. This dark green line represents the 100-foot buffer zone. So it's primarily for work just in this activity. And as you saw at the site, when we put the stakes out, went and looked, basically these stakes run along an existing woods road. So that kind of breaks up the vegetated area. Plus there are a ton of boulders between that woods road and the finger-like projection. I don't think they'll be going in that direction given the site. It's a heavily ledge site, ledge everywhere, boulders everywhere.
So we did walk it. I agree with you 100%. That was an old gravel yard or something. Just the way and especially the way the elevations are so dramatic. It really drops. It's really a little bit on the crazy side, actually. But with that being said, I think that you're good to go. Anyone else?
If I may,
Go right ahead.
what was the total area of disturbance on that?
Oh, I have that on the plan.
Yeah.
We're cognizant of not triggering the stormwater bylaw.
Yeah. Surprise.
I know it's on here.
Mm-hmm.
39,707. And that's the jagged line starting up at the road, coming down the property line, all of that, primarily out of the buffer zone.
That's your,
And we'll just,
that's your, yeah.
and we stake
Clearing?
We stake the entire limits of clearing,
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
saw, clearly
Mhm.
big orange stakes,
Yep.
and they'll stick within it.
Anyone else?
No, I agree. We walked the site, I think.
Okay, with that, I'd like to entertain a motion for a negative determination.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
With that, I'd like to entertain a motion to close this.
Motion to close.
Second that.
Okay, next. Public hearing NOI, Mario J. Olivera, Antonio P. Olivera, Gammons Road, map 9, lot 16 and 19, SC 001-0613. With that being said, Dave, I don't have Joanne Greencap. Can you please put him on that desk? Okay. Notice of intent was filed by Mario J. Olivera and Antonio P. Olivera for property located at Gammons Road, map 9, lot 16 and 19. The applicant proposes to develop a residential property which includes the construction of a single-family dwelling and associated site work. A portion of the site work will be performed within the 100-foot buffer zone of a bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by David M. Davinian of Schneider, Davinian and Leone. Plan name is Sewer Disposal System, Site Plan, Gammons Road, dated September 10, 2025. Revised plan was September 11, 2025. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. I am not going to entertain a motion to open this public hearing, for I am recusing myself on this property. Thank you.
Very good. That being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
Motion to open public hearing.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The
So
ayes
again,
have it.
my name is
Mr.
Dave. I'm sorry.
Davinian, no, go right ahead.
Dave DeVignan, representing the Oliveira family. This is completely different than the last project, which is why we filed a notice of intent. It is a very large site, nearly 20 acres in size, and we are proposing work tucked towards Gammons Road, to the very easterlymost portion of the property. The property, as you can see in the locus, it's very large. It keeps going towards the river and then some. The proposed development for the limits of clearing is 39,740 square feet. That also includes what is already cleared, which is a woods road that'll take you from Gammons Road. It'll actually take you all the way to the back of where we're proposing. The limits of clearing basically on the south side is that road, and we're showing some opening of some trees just to open up a 20-foot cleared lane to Gammons Road, and including that, we're under 40,000. The perk tests were done in the upper northeast quadrant of the property, so that we can, what's the highest ground, and it does require a mounted system because we got 2 minutes per inch perk rates. And we're leaving a clump of trees here between us and the property towards Gammons Road to create screening, natural screening. And we're limiting the clearing just to put in the septic. There'll be a forced main pipe that runs up to the leaching field. This is all natural grade around the backside of development. The limits of clearing was staked in the field. As you saw when we went out there, there's a natural, we're showing a 25-foot no activity zone along the closest points, and that grows to greater than what the buffer zone is to the north side. The south side, again, is the woods road. So we're proposing a single-family home, which will be within the buffer zone. Some of the driveway to get off the bottleneck to the garage will be in the buffer zone. The septic tank is literally almost out of the buffer zone. There is a pump chamber here, and some of the forced main pipe will be in the buffer zone. We will have to install a well. We're showing it just south of the dwelling. Water line to the house. Utilities we brought in with overhead poles until we get to this point where we'll go underground. And we are showing a grading schematic around the house. It's not quite to be a walkout basement, so it's going to be in the ground slightly, so we're filling around it. We do have a DEP file number. I don't believe there are any comments. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone from the commission have anything to add to this project? Anyone from the public that would like to
Can we look
speak?
at it? Can we look at the map?
Absolutely, yes.
We're gonna.
If you guys could identify yourselves when you,
I'm Jen
approach.
Ballerino.
oh, please,
Step
Oh, sorry.
just come up and then, please, thank you.
I'm Jen Ballerino.
I'm Paul Ballerino.
And
We're
address,
at 125 Gammons Road. Thank you, butters.
that's fine.
Okay, so
So,
we couldn't really see. So.
Sure, I know it's
Yeah.
good.
so I'll do my best.
Yep.
So up at Gammons Road, the
Yeah.
Woods Road is this
Yeah.
shaded area that brings you into the site.
Mm-hmm.
This is the point of the property line,
Yeah.
and the markers have been put in there at this location,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a wall on this side. We're leaving all the treed area here, and we're putting the septic in this corner where there'll be a mounted septic in the house. The dark green represents the limits of clearing that we're proposing.
Great.
Any questions?
No. This is the house right here. That's better.
Yeah, and this is the tree line here on the easement, the road coming in.
Yeah, well, we have the dash lines represent the existing Woods Road.
Yep.
We're showing it just to be straightened out.
Yep.
And there's a couple of clumps of trees that should
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
come out, just get a straight shot in. So, we've got the Montes here, so then, yeah, that's
That's
you right
me right
there.
there,
Okay. But you'll have the buffer trees that we're trying to leave,
Perfect.
creep the screen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's considered a retreat lot, correct?
It is a retreat lot,
Yeah.
yes.
Once again, is everybody satisfied?
I'm satisfied.
All right, so I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the order of conditions.
Motion to approve order of conditions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, have it, the ayes have it.
Should close the public hearing.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
That being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion?
I'm sorry, I'd like to entertain a motion. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll second.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes
Thank
have
you.
it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh?
Did you vote for the same?
No, I voted.
Oh, okay. All right, so now, all right,
Discussion.
yep, so before we even get into that, I'd like to go with one other thing going on. It's other here on the other business, and it's something that we can bring up, anything not reasonably anticipated, and that is Slocum Street.
Okay.
Slocum Street, we got a lot of issues with. I went down there the other day, I took pictures, I got a hold of all the engineers. It was Friday, they don't work on Fridays, the place was a disaster. I don't know if Joanne did send you the pictures through the emails. So with that being said, I went down, I got a hold of, I went to go call Jamie Kelly, because I know this is a town project, seeing kind of which direction he wanted me to go. He wasn't there, Dave Warner was. Dave Warner sent me right to Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is, I mean, not Kevin Kelly, I'm sorry, Kevin Gasper is kind of like leading this project. Kevin and I spoke, he got right on the phone with the engineers. He really like put his foot down on, we have, I guess, a resident engineer that's supposed to be watching all this work. Kevin really stepped right up, really got them, even though the company didn't work on Friday, they were there Friday.
Okay.
And they cleaned up the whole entire mess. And I went by Friday night. I thought it might not have been done because they said they did Friday or Saturday to finish it because it was that much work. I went by there Friday night and it looked really well. So today, with all this heavy rain and they're working the street, I did take and go see the project with my 16-month-old granddaughter, but we did take a ride down, go take a look at the project, and it was a disaster. There was a lot of sediment inside the river. There was a lot of the wattles they have. They did add more wattles, but they didn't stake them down because of the asphalt. So they were floating. Everything was just going underneath. Everything was coming around the corner of the road. It was a really disaster. I was able to talk to Manny, the foreman, I guess, or superintendent. They said they were going to put a bunch of hay bales out. I did call Claire. I think everyone remembers Claire from the one we did the site visit with. I called her yesterday. Once again, I sent everything to Kevin Gasper. Kevin Gasper jumped on it right away. So the only thing I can say is I think that between any of us that are driving by there, we don't see anything going correctly or things look out of hand. We have to 100% speak up right away, make sure this stays under control. I will be going by again tomorrow morning. We're supposed to get heavy rains tonight. They were supposed to put all kinds of hay bales and stop this. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they are trying, but you know, it's not about trying, it's about doing it correctly. So I am going to go by there tomorrow. They are working tomorrow. So with that being said, let's see what happens. But if anybody sees anything, please reach out immediately. If you can't get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Kevin Gasper, Jamie Kelly, Dave Warner, get a hold of anyone. This is a town project.
Right.
Doesn't matter, they have to do it correctly. There should be no sediment in that river, period. So
when I came by tonight, the road was actually closed I don't know if they're continuing the paving, but they began to pave the roadway today.
Correct.
So with this heavy rain coming tomorrow, we could probably anticipate more of an issue over there.
Like I said, I will take a ride by first thing in the morning.
Yes.
And just see what I can do, right?
What happened? They just dropped the ball?
So they were using sediment bags to put the pumps in. Of course, the sediment bag blew out, so then they, instead of even cleaning up that mess, they just added another bag. But then when you get all the rain, the water, everything going, all the sediment, the whole parking lot was full. All the silk fence was down, well, most of the silk fence on the left-hand corner was down. It looked like the wattles were just crushed in that corner to let the water relieve quicker. I'm not saying that they did that, but that's what it kind of looked like for me. Just so everyone do know, I did go down there with a cease and desist on my truck. After talking to everyone throughout the town, we figured we'd get it cleaned up and let's see what happens with that. But like I said, once again, I went there again today. It was ugly again today. I'm gonna go there again tomorrow morning. I'm actually probably gonna reach out to Kevin Gaspar to take a ride with me, so he sees it instead of just phone calls, if it looks like anything. I think we have to hold them, no matter if it's town project or not, 100% liable for what they're doing, right? So it's their responsibility, it's their burden, and it's their job, right? They're making money off the town. Well, do it right. So that's the only thing that I wanted to discuss about Slocum Street. And once again, if anybody sees anything, I don't care, make a phone call, get a hold of anybody. And how this all started, just so everyone knows, is I went in the office and there was a big picture of that bag that blew out, and then the second bag behind it with a very letter, and it was a very well-written letter by the EPA. The EPA was in the neighborhood. They drove by to look at the site while they were here, and they sent me a letter, or the commission a letter, saying, you know, we don't want this to blow up out of proportion, but it is not right. So now it's like, now we have everybody's eyes on it.
Eyes on it.
Yep,
now.
and it's not something we're gonna drop the ball. This, I will inspect it every single day if I have to. I'd appreciate anybody help when driving by, you see something, please call me, call Christian, call Kevin Gaspar, call Jamie Kelly, call anybody, right? I actually gave Christian Claire's number, so she was a direct, and she actually took and was calling the engineers on the project. So hopefully this is just over, and everything goes on correctly. Has anyone else got anything else? Agent updates. So I was there talking with Sydney today regarding an agent. They have 4 applications in right now. They did stop the posting for more applications. I believe they stopped it Friday, I believe she said. But I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they stopped the posting on Friday. They are going to be looking probably next week to start doing interviews. Christian and I are going to try to be there, even though we can't give any influence or anything. I guess we just get to sit there and watch and see what, you know, get a feeler out. Hopefully they take and call us after the meeting maybe, or maybe they're not. I really don't know.
Who are they meeting with?
What's that?
Who are they gonna meet with?
They got a hiring board, so there's 4 applicants for the agent. So the hiring board's gonna go through the application, go through them, meet them, and I asked if I could be there, and then I mentioned to Christian. Christian says, yeah, if he's available, he'd like to be there. But we can't put in inputs. But it doesn't matter, if we can be there and maybe after the interviews give our opinions or whatever, I think it's important that somebody's there and so far.
So that being said, Jimmy, the only thing I don't agree with is the stopping of the process of the advertisement for this position. I think we should continue to advertise this position until we actually fulfill it. It's only 4 applicants. Yes, we may get lucky and actually appoint somebody.
So I know in the 4 applicants, 1 is highly, highly recommended. It's kind of green, but highly recommended. There is another applicant that, from what I was told, is already there. The application looks very good. So I think we'll fill out these 4. For them to put it back up, it can only be the next week. So if we interview these 4, put it back up next week if they don't fly. I think that, you know, we have to go with what the hiring board wants to do. I'm sure they don't want to have 20 applicants in front of them, right? So if you go maybe 4 at a time, it kind of you really get to feel out those 4 and saying, okay, now we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Yeah.
right? And they might get pushed, well, let's see if the next one's better. Let's see if the next one's better, right? You might push yourself right out of it. So I think that the 4 that we have is a good way to start. And let's go from there, and hopefully this is next week.
Right.
Okay? Anyone else? Anything else? All right, with that, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.